Namaskar and a very, 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 very happy new year. Welcome to yet another episode of Senco Golden Diamonds Shona Kotha Kotha Shoda. Jekhane it's all about celebrating the journey of the artists, the ambassadors who actually take us to the global platform. As we begin this new year, আজকে আমি ভীষণ এক্সাইটেড কারণ আজকে আমি ফাইনালি অবশেষে বহু বছর ধরে চেষ্টা করে যার সাথে অবশেষে একটু টাইম পেয়েছি he is somebody who makes us proud. He is the maestro, the man যার হাতে সরোদ আসলেই আরো একটা নতুন সুর পায়. He needs no introduction, a global icon. Namaskar Ayaan Ali ji. बहुत 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 शुक्रिया and happy new year to you.
Happy New Year to you and thank you for that very kind introduction. But I always say I'm still a student of music and you're a student till the last day you walk this planet.
That's such a beautiful, I think the greatest message that you could actually give at the beginning of the new year. As long as we are a student, I think that's where the journey is all about. But when it comes to you, there are so many things that are coming to my mind. The first thing I would want to know from you is that how has the new year begun? In this year, what is that one thing that you really intend to do? Nahi hua hai, but 2026 definitely.
I mean, music is the greatest source of inspiration, the greatest prayer for us. So, we closed 2025 with a concert in Kolkata itself at a lake club. So, it's a big blessing because music is who I am. It's not a profession, it's a passion, it's a way of life. So, in order to what we want to achieve, sky is the limit. But like I said at the start of the interview, আমরা সব ছাত্র and যত মত তত পথ. As we all grew up with this ethos, and more you work harder, then the possibilities increase. And the blessing quotient is very important. Along with hard work, it's very important to get blessings, love, good wishes from one and all.
Thank you so much for the wonderful answer. The time that you're giving us today, I know how busy the calendar is, traveling around the world. But as you mentioned that learning has always been so important and you're a forever student, when was the first time you remember that you are actually learning? Or was it always like, ghore to shab shomoy you are in that temple of music with the god and goddesses? So when did you actually realize that, okay, I'm a student, I'm learning? Was it some incident that you remember when you were a child?
I mean, I'm very fortunate that my father itself is my guru. So that's why there was no timeline to learning. It was constant. So even when Abba Saab has been in town, when he would drop us to school, he would sometimes drive and drop us or pick us up. So the conversation even in the car was always music. It was always learning some Tihai, it was learning some raga. It was very music centric. And I see that even with my children today. I mean, most of the conversation my father has with them is all about music. And that's who he is, So that's why the learning never stopped. It was constant. And it was not kind of chalked out to a certain space. ऐसा नहीं था कि म्यूजिक रूम में ही तालीम हो रही है. The तालीम could happen in planes, in airports, in cars. It didn't matter. It was beyond a physical or a concrete setting. And it's still the case. And that's what classical music is. That's what music is. It's not a routine. It's a way of life.
How brilliantly put, that talim is not within just the walls, but talim is on wherever. So now that you are a great father, I have seen you around your children and your family is absolutely a family we all worship, right? Abhi, as a father, it's a balance, right? That you also have a different responsibility. How is this balance on in your life? How do you understand, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what your wife is doing, this is what Appa is doing. As a parent, we would love to know your story.
Well, I think you just started my year on a great note by calling me a great father. I wish my kids say that too someday. But I think we're all learning, I mean, no one is a trained parent. I think Nima and I are just doing what we know best. Our main training is to tell the children to be grounded, to be humble, to get as many blessings as possible. And again, I didn't plan their journey. I mean, it just happened. कि कब बजाना शुरू कर गए, कब stage mein baith gaye. Now they are performing by God's grace at such reputed venues with us. It's their destiny. They're sitting on stage with my father. So it's entirely their destiny. But I feel happy to see that they are responsible. They are concerned. They want to deliver. They want to be better than the last concert. So I mean, beyond the point, you see, the sense of responsibility cannot be inculcated. That has to be there from within. So that's why, today, obviously, the dynamics of us as parents, it's different than what it was with my parents and me. The times we are in, obviously, communication is a lot more. Children speak about so many things a lot more. I mean, of course, I'd like to be more of a friend to them, but obviously, you also are a parent. So it's a fine line that you have to kind of be around. I think Nima is more of the firmer parent. Because I'm traveling a lot and, whatever time I get, I try to bribe the children also. So they get away with a lot of things with me. But having said that, I mean, it's a long journey and they need good wishes and blessings. I don't know what they'll eventually do in life, in time to come. But as of now, they are enjoying the process. And I tell them that I'm not guru, I'm no teacher, I'm just a colleague and we are learning together, we are growing up together.
Beautiful. The idea behind this program is it's called Shona Kotha Kotha Shona, right? That it's all about golden conversations and words that are valued in gold. Hence, getting an opportunity to learn from you. We are just trying to get some lessons, What was that one lesson that you learned, apart from music, from your father, your mother, which has naturally got transpired to the next generation? Apnar জীবনের Shona Kotha Kotha Shona. The words which are golden will always be valued in gold.
আমার ছেলে তো আমার কথা কখনো they don't listen. But we'll discuss that another day. But I think the main thing, like I said in the start of the interview also, that the ethos has been to be humble, humility. As a family, we value the presence of the supreme power. To be God-loving or God-fearing, I don't know. They're two very powerful statements. But humility. I think we got blasted as kids sometimes for bad behavior, not for playing a bad concert. So, above everything, I mean, my father was okay if the concert was not 100%, but if I didn't take ijazat from a senior artist who was sitting in front, or if I did not do pranam to one of my father's contemporaries or colleagues, then that was a problem. If I said something inappropriate, that you don't speak in front of elders, out of turn or in a certain tone. So that's what got me into trouble, not the music part of it. So because eventually your nature reflects onto your music, and if there's grace and humility in your nature, that color, that I think fragrance comes out even on your music. It's one category. Everything is together, and that's what I am trying to communicate to my children. I mean, I tell them sur mein bajao, I tell them be grounded, be humble. All those things I communicate, and I've always said that to them, that beyond musical fireworks, you have to be grounded, you have to be humble. That's extremely important. Sometimes it doesn't always work for you, because when you grow up conditioned to be only humble, conditioned only to be extremely respectful, then sometimes in the journey called life, people take you for a ride. But then that life teaches you, and you just hand over those people to the universe sometimes. I'm not saying to be a saint. I mean, of course, you get angry. Of course, you observe things happening around you. But then, if it's beyond your control, then you leave it to the universe. Because what is, so shall it be written, so shall it be done. So no one can come in the way of that process.
अभी थोड़ा बात करते हैं ये डिजिटल जमाने में, where phone and tab and the whole machine and man time is so unified. For your kids and also the kids around, how would you motivate them to spend time with themselves? Like, I'm sure this is a challenge that every parent, every individual, it's just not about parents. Even as adults, we should know that which is the machine time, which is the me time. So as an adult, as a parent, how would you think that we should balance life with such digital distractions which are absolutely, which really affects us?
You see, every era, every generation had its own set of distractions. But the only thing which is changed now is that, call it distractions or the advancement of technology today, it's become like music is a way of life, technology has become a way of life. You're stranded without a phone today. even if it's to make a small transaction, be it work, be it anything, and entertainment. It's become a combination of so many things today. So, initially, of course, as parents, we tried our best to keep the kids away from gizmos and tablets. But then, what do you do when even schools now have taken to, these mediums to even inculcate knowledge? I mean, my kids sometimes are using ChatGPT to do their homework. Sometimes we end up using ChatGPT for so many things. And obviously now AI is the new kid in the block. Everyone's kind of toying with it, including folks in the music industry. So obviously a balance has to be made between the real world and between this world. But it's very difficult for me to sit down and comment because today kids in their early 20s are becoming billionaires through the things they are creating on their gizmos, through gaming, through so many things. So I don't want to be that person who is just reflecting on old times and saying, oh, those were the days when we were reading books and this and that. You have to keep moving on with time. You have to adapt to technology. You have to adapt to the changing times. I mean, you can't sit in complacency and feel that, oh, this was true music and what's happening today isn't. I mean, every era, change is the only thing that's constant in the world. So obviously, now coming back to your question, I try to keep kids away from social media. I mean, today they're performing artists and they keep saying, when can we get on Instagram? When can we do this, do that? I said, no, you can't at the moment. But I do know that they're watching reels, they're doing this and that whenever they have our phones. They're a lot into football, they're a lot into wildlife. So they're so well informed today because of the content so easily available. But yes, you have to strike a balance. What more can I say? And we are trying. But like I said, how do you explain kids really, turning tables when they're in their early 20s because they had access to gizmos and turned startups into magic and everything? So it's a very difficult question to answer, actually.
Absolutely. Actually, the reason why I asked you this question is that, some things that you said, even if it changes the way we think, a few of us think alike, a lot can change. Because you are a perfect balance of what a legacy is, what tradition is. You've seen the world and the world sees you. So, this is just something that I wanted for everybody to understand. And thank you for sharing your heart.
So I've always said one thing, that in order to be contemporary, you don't have to murder tradition. The two worlds can exist without any conflict. They're two completely different things. It's like tradition and convention. I mean, being traditional is one thing, but to be a part of conventions, that's dangerous. That because it was done this way, I shall continue to do it that way. That doesn't speak anything of you even creatively.
Now, we are a little curious to know that you and Aman Bhai, when you all were growing up and all, even fights, would you all have this musical kind of a fight, or was it like normal like us, words and pillows and all? Kaisa hota tha when you were growing up with such a dear brother?
When you have two boys growing up who are just 2 years apart, I mean, you can imagine the madness around what my parents had to go through. I mean, of course, there were these crazy fist fights and this and that. And, all that is part of growing up. There's a problem in the relationship if there's no fight. That's what I feel. But having said that, the musical journey, I mean, we both, I think, very seldom practiced together. I think my father used to teach us when we would sit together. But in time, then, you have to then channelize. And we all were always maybe performing a lot together on stage, but then we were always practicing by ourselves. Because, it's a very individualistic journey and it's like a breathing technique. So you can't collectively breathe together, So you have to improve your skill. You have to improve your craft because, like I said earlier, your nature reflects onto your music. So these aspects need to be really worked on individually. And then finally, when you're on stage together, then the idea is to decorate a beautiful bouquet of flowers together. So that's the idea. But then today we continue to perform as soloists. We continue to do our collaborative work together on stage, off stage. And then there are concerts with my father, of course, and then with the whole family where we perform as a quintet. It's all a different thing. It's all a different vibe altogether.
Amazing. Nature-wise, who is like Abbaji and who is like ma'am? So
no, I'm a lot like my. I think that's without a doubt. I think I'm a lot like my father, nature-wise. And Aman Bhai is completely the male version, I think, of my mother.
Oh, lovely. So like rapid fire, it's a new year, so some questions we would love to know from you this new year.
Right.
So one resolution that keeps coming back, but unfortunately abhi tak hua nahi shayad 2026 mein, anything like that?
You see, I'm someone who always tries to kind of do what I want to do internally. So I don't wait for December 31st. वो कहते हैं ना काल करे सो आज करे so ab. So I'm a believer of that. So I don't. So the resolutions, it's not date bound for me. You want to do something, start now, right here, right now. Who's seen tomorrow? So that's why, I don't think I'm a resolution kind of a person. What you want to do, start it just now. Don't wait. Otherwise, it'll never happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One food, even how hungry you are, পেট যতই ভরা থাকুক, সামনে থাকলে a little. One food.
I think any kind of protein, I don't mind. I stay away from carbs now, trying to be careful. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have like something I would crave for anymore. I don't think food is now that important a deal for me. I mean, as long as, I'm not starving, I'm okay with anything that's pleasant to the palate. So I try to avoid rich things. But I've been there, done that. Love all of those things. Calcutta, oh my God. From Rahmania to Shiraz to Arsalan to everything. I mean, it has a little part of me everywhere. But again, now, you just have to be a little more careful, that's all.
Great. The first concert which you were like a concert in your life, your first concert where you felt the first goosebumps as an artist, as a performer, the first concert that made you feel wowest.
There's so many. It's hard for me to list all, but I remember one distinct moment which was really a moment for me, which was in Boston in 2001. So my brother and I did our duet segment. Abba Saab did his solo, and in the end we were all playing together. Then Abba started doing these question answers. अब वो कुछ ऐसा मोमेंट था कि कुछ बहुत ही मुश्किल सवाल उन्होंने कर लिया without realizing. He just played a combination of notes and the question itself got applauded. And it was that moment, where you remember the Brahmastra moment of your guru, where I had to replicate what he did. And by God's grace, वो हो गया. वो कुछ दुआओं का काम था शायद. And then people even further applauded. And later at night, Abba then called me to his room and he said, listen, I'm really sorry because it just happened. I didn't realize what I did. But he was very happy as a guru and he blessed me. And that's your biggest award. Those are the moments I live for. So I feel very blessed to have kind of experienced that moment in life.
By the grace of God, you have met them all the biggest and the greatest personalities of the world from all fields. What are the common traits? কিছু জিনিস যেটা সব successful মানুষের common. What would be that?
শুধু একটা জিনিস common, and that is humility. I've been so fortunate to have met and worked with Joe Walsh, have met Steven Tyler. We recently, Aman Bhai and I are coming out with an album with the Gorillas. And of course, back home, all my father's, contemporaries, from Pandit Ravi Shankar ji to Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji, all of them, one thing common: humility, humility, humility. They never took themselves seriously. They just behaved as regular people. No as Amra Boro Lok, Tumra Choto Lok, nothing. So that's why when I see it in some people who are not yet there, but they think they are, it amuses me. It amuses me because it's such a long journey called life. And this element of humility this is what it is.
क्या कहना? वाजिबा. A little question: Riyaz or travel when you want to really relax and feel happy? If given an option between these two, what would you choose?
Either of the two. For me, Riyaz is relaxing. For me, travel is relaxing. But apart from that, I think spending time with the family. And those are moments I really long for. Time just flies so fast, you don't even know it. How so much time goes by and kids are all grown up now. And so, the pace of life has become so fast. So the moments with family, that's something I cherish very deep.
You have such a dear wife who seems to just be the rock solid, the partner, shoulder to shoulder always. What are the best things you love about her? I'm sure everything, but still.
Well, for
Just
one, she's very good at handling crazy people. And she's handled me for so many years. So I'm very grateful to her. It's not being easy married to someone who's constantly traveling, someone who's in the creative field, to be sometimes present and not present in the children's life. Though thanks to communication, one is constantly in touch. But there are times when it's difficult, and she has a lot on her plate, on her shoulders. So I'm extremely grateful to her for everything she does as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, as a sister-in-law. So Nima is a very integral part of my life and to my whole family actually. So and I'm very grateful to her.
Absolutely. So I'm going to show you some pictures. You have to tell me quickly. It's a rapid fire. It's a part of the rapid fire. What do you remember about this?
Oh God, this was very smartly clicked because I'm racing but against no one. So I think this was the kids' sports day. This was the time when we were living in Mumbai. So they were running and the parents had to run. So I ran, and after that I also went for a little bit of physiotherapy in the afternoon.
So
and,
what are the
and I'm a very conscious dad. I said, Bhaiya, agar if shape mein nahi ho, to daudo mat. So when their sports day was coming, I was very careful that, at least you should look good in pictures.
God has created y'all with all the perfect ingredients, so you can never look out of sync.
Oh God, it's all the magic of layering. Trust me.
I'm so cushioned. Don't tell me, so I can completely understand.
You're looking great.
बहुत shukriya. Next picture, okay?
Oh, this is Ranthambore, one of the kids' wildlife expeditions, and we've done Bandhavgarh, Ranthambore, Corbett. So there's one of those safaris, and kabhi 8 घंटे jungle के अंदर, I tell the kids, I say, guys, I can't do this anymore. I love tigers, very nice, but भैया stage में tiger बनो. But they know names of all the tigers of India, how many are surviving, and how the numbers have gone up. It's wonderful. I'm very happy to know, because it's also, it talks a lot about their compassion towards life and towards animals. It's wonderful.
Right. How was this meeting?
Oh wow. His Majesty, when he was Prince Charles, now he's become King Charles. So, he is someone who really values tradition, values legacy. And by God's grace, we performed almost 7-8 times for King Charles. And this was in his Highgrove residence back in 2003. It was for Temenos Academy. They were raising funds for Temenos Academy, and one of his professors, Catherine Rain, she's been an ardent admirer of my father's. She's no more now. But then it was really a wonderful congregation of so many people. A very intimate evening. And prior to this, we had played at St. James's Palace a few times. King Charles shares his birthday with even Pandit Nehru. So that's something very common to India and his journey. So yes, there have been so many occasions where we've performed, and all so memorable.
Lovely. There were some other pictures where I think, the fact that you've given us time, and that too on a busy new year with so many concerts. Just one last message, because it's all about staying humble, staying great. Right. This new year, Amade Shokolke, what would you like to say? How to have the best of every moment. Because all you said that, everything, all we have is now.
I'll just say eat, pray and love. I think be happy, value every moment, have gratitude for every moment, and stay humble. That's all I'll say.
But you travel with the kids not just for concerts but also for pleasure, because all the expeditions of wildlife, that is the father taking the kids, right? I see so many busy parents just not having time. So ये थोड़ा बाहर जाने का जो formula होता है, how traveling helped you or helps everybody, इसके बारे में अगर 1-2 शब्द आप बोल देंगे, this year should be the travel plans, yes or not, how it should be.
I mean, look, there's no rule book to life. But the point is, if one is able to take time out, it's a very big blessing to do so. And we can't always do it. But when you can, those moments, there's a world beyond Instagram. It's called life. And those moments cannot be replaced. So try to make best of it. We all have so much going on. Every individual has so much going on in life. But if one is able to just take out special moments and make memories, it's a blessing.
बहुत शुक्रिया. आपको कैसा लगा यहाँ आके? How was शोना कथा शोना? Maybe just 2 lines or 2 words.
It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and আপনার কথা এত দুর্ধর্ষ আর ফাটাফাটি দারুণ. It's always wonderful, and you're spreading so much love around you, which is so needed in the world we live in. That's another thing I hope for 2026. That I hope we realize and value love and compassion. And it's most needed today all over the world. And as musicians, that's what we are trying to communicate and convey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. May you
Thank you.
keep winning the world with your music, your humility,
Thank
and the gold soul that lies within that heart. You're such
Thank
a
you
perfect
so much.
person. Thank you.
Thank you.
बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया, sir.
Baka all day. Thank you.
Baka.
Lots of love. Bye. Bye.
इस नए साल में अपने सपनों को दीजिए एक नई उड़ान। सेंको गोल्ड एंड डायमंड्स की तरफ से आप सबको अ वेरी हैप्पी न्यू ईयर।